Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently entering Season 2 in version 1.1.6.0. So that of course means that we require an additional campaign. So we will start up a new campaign. I almost clicked continue because I'm so used to that, but we're going to start a new campaign here. Are we going to run this on standard difficulty? I'm thinking that we probably do. We just run it like this. Now, to be clear, we are on company difficulty. No changes were made between this season and the last season in terms of our RogueTech install options. So, just so everybody knows, we're just going to run on the default settings here, and off we go. Also, the polls have come back that we are going to be joining the New Delphi Compact. Right? New Delphi? Let me double check that. New Delphi. Yep, that is indeed who we are going to be joining in the Deep Periphery. So this is going to be interesting. I have no idea where they are, if I'm honest. But that is what you guys decided, and so we will definitely do that. This is apparently just chilling here, loading. That's okay, and we're going to mostly randomize our start here. So let me just pull up random.org for our random number generator. Fantastic. And let me move that to a different monitor. That'll be helpful. Okay. I'm excited to see what we've got. This is going to be very interesting. Well, we gonna load? It can sometimes take a while. Okay. Generating portraits. Here we go. Fantastic. So we're mostly going to leave this as the randomly generated character that it comes up with. Now, I believe that we're going to immediately go for being born in the Deep Periphery. That does give us +2 gunnery. Okay, well, you guys chose Deep Periphery, so thanks for the +2 gunnery. As far as our interests go, I think this will be randomized. So 1 through 5. Let's go ahead and... Actually, let me switch this over to... I don't have a display capture in this. Let me put in a display capture quick here. That would help matters tremendously. And the question is, which display do we want this to be on? It is the primary display, of course. Fantastic. So, here's our randomness. So we're going to generate 1 through 5. What do we get? 5. Fantastic. So let's go back in here, and that means that we are a loner. So we get Brave and Assassin. Okay, as far as our career goes, how many is in here? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8, 9. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and generate a max of 9, and we come up with 6. Okay, sounds good. So we're then, of course, going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We were a merchant. So that gives us merchant and dishonest. That gives us some extra starting money. Fascinating. We're going to leave this all exactly default. I kind of don't care. And we are going to hop on in. Fantastic. Let me get us switched over to proper display. Actually, hello, random.org, you can go away. And we're back in proper game capture. Thank you very much. So what do we have here? Now, obviously, this is Mason's Marauders. Oh yeah, that would pop up again, wouldn't it? Okay, well that's not going to be a normal thing popping up regularly. It just pops up the once usually. So we're going to go ahead and customize our company. As before, I'm going to set our colors to be magenta, just in case we have any loading errors. I believe... Is that magenta? Probably close enough. Okay. So we're going to do something like that. Perfect. And something like that. Okay, as far as crests go, I'm going to choose one kind of at random. I'm not even looking at the game. This is what we've got. Okay, that's interesting. So, what are we going to name this? I mean, I'm going to temporarily name it like we did previously, Atreides Co., but leave some name suggestions in the comments, if you would. And maybe I'll choose to name it that. We'll go with that for now, though. Perfect. And let's just hop into our mech bay and see what we start with.
Check out this mech bay, Commander.
A stealth? Oh, hello. Yes, I'm aware that Season 2 has started. Thanks, INN. Okay, so we've got a stealth. That's fascinating. What do we have on here? I find it easier to see from this screen, even though it takes some time to load. Okay, this is a fairly mediocre loadout, if you ask me. Definitely not a loadout that we're going to stick with, but the stealth is a pretty decent mech. I'm actually going to immediately drop the mask, I think, and max out that armor for what we can do. The extra 2.25 tons of armor will be nice. That will take 5 days. We'll go ahead and do that. I'm never going to activate the mask, ever. So, we'll just do that. We've got this mongoose, and what do we got on here? Okay, this is very mediocre as well. Certainly not a loadout that I would put together, but that'll be fine. We've got an SRM-2, we've got a medium laser. We've got a Centurion as one of our big boys, and that's a pretty decent big boy. I like it. Running an AC-20 LRM-10 combo. Our armor's a little on the low side. Are we over heat efficient? We are. We're over heat efficient by 8 heat. So that means that we could drop these 2 heat sinks unless these are free heat sinks. And they are. They are free heat sinks. Okay. I was hoping we'd be able to drop those and put the extra 2 tons into armor because this is not all that armored. Well, we'll refit that later on. And we've got a Stinger. That's not a particularly great mech. This is our backup mech, almost certainly. Running the medium laser, dual machine guns. This is a ludicrous amount of heat sinking for what we've got here. Okay. Well, that's not going to have any heat problems. I can tell you that. The Javelin. What do we got on here? In fact, all of these are overkill on the heat. Running double heat sinks on the Javelin. Interesting. Running double case as well. SRM-4s. And no backup weapons. Okay. Good to know. I'm not going to call these great loadouts. And let's hop over and take a look at our barracks. Weren't we supposed to start with 3 million C-bills rather than 2.5 million? Oh well, whatever. So, this guy can grab a point of gunnery as well as a point of tactics. Great. Oh hey, we've got El Duce. He can grab a point of gunnery and a point of tactics.
Training confirmed, Commander.
We've got Kraken as well. A point of gunnery and a point of tactics.
Mech warrior training.
We've got Paladin. He, you guessed it, can get a point of gunnery and a point of tactics.
Training complete.
Panzer is, of course, our commander here. Panzer can grab Bandit. Fantastic. Do it.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Bandit is just too strong. Rain? What is he? Some kind of Comstar guy? I don't know. He can grab a point of gunnery and a point of tactics.
Mech warrior training complete.
Savarok can grab a point of gunnery and a point of tactics.
Training complete.
And Succubus can grab a point of gunnery and a point of tactics. Okay, sounds great. So at this point, let's go ahead and not take forward 5 days, actually. I want to get an engineering upgrade going. It's loading the store currently. Yeah, I don't mind. There we go. Okay, so what do we want to grab first here? I always like to grab repair scaffolding as our very first upgrade. Especially since it should be noted in the Season 2 patch, they slightly nerfed mech techs and slightly buffed med techs, so that is something to keep in mind. Do we want to depart Outreach and head off to our... Yeah, I'm aware of the... I'm aware of all that. Okay, so the Deep Periphery... Is it this up here? No, not these guys. I'm guessing it's more like over this way. That's the Taurian Concordat. That's definitely part of the Periphery. Magistracy, Abandoned... Okay, I'm not entirely sure where we need to go here. So we need to try to figure that out. What are these guys over here? Ah, the Axumite Providence. Those are some of the ones that those are some of the guys that is in the region for us. Same with Nueva Castillo. So that's a good sign. Hanseatic League, okay. Society over here. So it's definitely out in this direction. Clan Snow Raven, of course, this is going to be the clan cluster up here. Who's these guys over here? The New Delphi Compact. Okay, so this is the area where we need to go. Of course, we're on company difficulty, so this challenge doesn't really matter. Now, we don't have any travel contracts right now, and do we want to head out over here? That would take 80 days. Maybe what we want to do is just work our way out with travel contracts. That's something we could do. So, let's go into the command center here.
Commander.
And we'll just go ahead and generate our contracts and see if there are any travel contracts currently. There are currently not, so we'll likely just run one of these missions here for temporaries. We'll tick forward 5 days. Oh yeah! Our stash, that's right. So 3 mil straight to our funds. Okay, that is indeed a lot of dough. That'll last us a while. So we'll get the stealth upgraded here. Excellent. Who all is active out in the New Delphi Compact? That is definitely something I want to look at. So, let's see. Active factions out here are the Planetary Government and the New Delphi Compact. And that's pretty much it. Okay, that's going to be interesting. For now, we're just going to stick on outreach, and let's just go ahead and run a mission here. Which one do we want to run? Ideally one with some good salvage. This one is an interesting option here. It's a capture base mission, but that's not going to be a double priority salvage. I really do want to find one with a double priority salvage, and this one actually should be. I mean, it's for the Free Worlds League, but that's okay. It's a base destruction. We're against the Dracos. Oh, and we have a harasser, too, that I didn't realize. Okay, we're probably not going to utilize that too heavily, but that's fine. We can go ahead and bring in our Centurion, our Stealth, our Javelin, and our Mongoose. And we will bring in the harasser for now. There we go. And who do we want in each of these? Well, given the fact that we have an AC-20 in the Centurion, we'll put Panzer in the Centurion. Beyond that, it doesn't really matter. Do we have anyone who's only capable of driving vehicles? No. But we do have several who are only capable of driving mechs. So we'll have Coldfire, Savarok, and I guess El Duce out here. And then we'll put Kraken into the harasser. Fantastic. Now, these loadouts are not going to be great. There's no doubt about that. But let's see what we can get here. Our drop cost is definitely going to be eating up most of our earnings, but luckily we have 5 million C-bills that we can start ourselves off with. That's a huge cash infusion at the very beginning. That is a big deal. I'm glad that randomly came up. Of course, it could have been something else entirely, right? It could have been a decent mech. It could have been... It's hard to say. A lot of those things are pretty random. But we need to destroy structures in Smuggling Base and escape. We've seen a rise in the quantity of unregistered small arms on outreach. A heavily armed population makes Merrick operations more difficult. We've tracked the weapons back to a hidden smuggling base operated by Kharitan forces. That base needs to be destroyed. Not expecting a lot of defenders, Commander, but there are likely to be turrets. There's a bonus if we wipe out the base garrison as well. That's your call as the situation on the ground develops, and we probably will.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, fixed gun emplacements. Sounds good. Where can we drop? We're like up here, and that doesn't really give us a route down to the base, other than with jump jets. I think I would prefer to advance along the valley, even though it's a tactical nightmare if they have enemies on the ridges. But I think we'll just deploy down here. somewhere like over here-ish, and we'll just take a look and see, is any of those likely to be dangerous? Maybe. We'll deploy over here instead. Kind of like that. Okay, so we have an enemy contact. This isn't shocking. It's just a helicopter. No big deal there. We don't know too much about these turrets just yet.
Trees.
But our javelin is going to be the one that's going to move, right?
Standing by.
Yes, our javelin. We're still calculating our movement, so let's allow that to happen for a moment, and we'll move up to here and see what we've got. So there's definitely this sprint helicopter. That's not too threatening. There's a light thunderbolt emplacement. There's a standard turret chassis with 3 energy and a ballistic weapon. And there's a light command bunker over there as well. Okay, so our hit odds are going to be best on the light thunderbolt emplacement, and we'll go ahead and light that up with our dual SRM4s.
Enemy structure is weakening.
That wasn't great shooting, but okay. We don't expect great shooting at this stage of the game. We're going to move up with our Mongoose as well.
I copy.
And check those hit odds. Yeah, we definitely go for the light thunderbolt emplacement.
Affirmative.
An additional 25 damage in there. Okay, so the sprint is going to move back, actually. That's fascinating.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Our stealth is going to move up as quick as it can, which is actually pretty quick. We're going to move up to here. And we're going to see about hitting that light thunderbolt emplacement, but we really do need to close in a little bit more. That was a reasonably solid hit, though. Okay, so they have other members of the garrison other than the sprint. A complete miss. I like it. Okay.
Ready for orders.
Our harasser is going to close in as much as it can, which is only to over
shoot,
here.
Just running. Got it.
And we'll light this light thunderbolt emplacement up as best we can. Only the single SRM hit. Very unfortunate. Another helicopter coming in. Okay.
Yep.
And now our Centurion is going to close in as much as possible. What are these hit odds like? 20% on the AC-20? I think we'll hold off on that for now. And we'll just get a couple of LRM hits in there. Now those turrets are going to fire. We'll see if they get anything. No hits from the standard turret. A chaff cloud on the Centurion. That's not threatening.
They think they can hurt me?
Indirect LRMs, fully missing the stealth. Let's see what that Thunderbolt does. 2 misses. Fantastic. The Thunderbolt could have hurt quite a lot, but it didn't. So they've got a Javelin out there, Scorpion, and of course we had limited sensors because of the first round. So things should get much better now, although when we enter this ECM area, it might get worse again. We'll see. Especially with that Sprint Scout helicopter positioning there. I'm not a fan of this. The Mongoose is going to need to close in, perhaps over here.
Position confirmed.
And it is jammed. This is not shocking. But we're going to go for that light thunderbolt emplacement. Now we're definitely going to be through the armor here. But not a kill.
Nice. Got past his armor.
Okay, so next up is going to be our harasser moving in on this same angle.
Got it.
Excellent. And just checking those hit odds. Yeah, they're hot garbage. So we're going to go for the thunderbolt emplacement. This is a likely kill, I believe. Fantastic. No more thunderbolts to worry about. And next up, we're going to move in our Javi to around here.
Roger.
And the question is, do we go for the light standard turret? I think the answer is we have to. That's an LRM turret there. Okay, let's go for the light standard. Okay, 40 damage to it. Not too bad. The Ripper is going to move up.
That really hurts.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Damage is light.
That was extremely unfortunate. A single hit into the head, Our Javelin's bleeding out and already needs to be ejected. Good thing the Javelin is not very impressive of a mech, right? So let's go ahead and move up to here.
No sweat.
And we're going to fire on this turret chassis.
All weapons, go.
Okay. Scorpion moves up. Sensor locks our Mongoose. Okay.
What do you need?
Our Centurion is going to step up here. Perhaps to this location. And checking hit odds here. We're going to go for the standard turret chassis. And we're going to fire the AC-20. Hopefully we don't stray shot our Javelin. Okay, we didn't, but we also missed. We got some armor hits in there. Okay, some damage to the Mongoose. Quite a bit of damage to the Mongoose, in fact.
I'm losing weapon systems.
And some more damage to the Javelin there. Now, one thing I want to say about the pilot injuries, I feel like there needs to be a minimum to the length of time that you have to eject the pilot. I feel like it should be a minimum of like 3 turns for a bleed out, right? I don't know. Maybe not. The Mongoose took a lot of damage. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the Mongoose was always going to be slightly threatened here. So we're going to move around over this way and grab ourselves some evasive pips, and we are going to light up this standard turret chassis, do what damage we can to it.
Roger.
And we got some damage in there. Phase 21, we'll see what they do. But, I mean, the Javelin is, of course, at this point, out of the fight. Okay. An interesting choice.
Internal damage.
Phase 17. The Ripper is going to go for the stealth. That's a lot of splash damage there, if it splashed all the way that way.
Reporting light damage.
That's impressive. Okay, the Harasser is, I think, absolutely going to come over, not that way, but over to, like, here.
Position confirmed.
And I would love to light up this sprint. Unfortunately, the ECM on the turret and the sprint are really making things difficult for us. But I think we have to. The sprint actually has no armor in this location. This is maybe solid for us. Or we could just miss it with everything. I guess that works too. Okay, phase 14. They have a Javelin. It's going for the Mongoose. Got a few hits in too. Okay.
What can I do for you?
So the stealth at this point pretty much needs to jump. And we'll back our way off to here. And we're going to continue to go for that sprint. We're just trying to get something into here. Anything.
Take this.
And there we go. That sprint is down. Fantastic. So that'll help with the ECM. The Scorpion is going to go for the Mongoose. And get a fair number of hits there.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
Indeed you are. This is, of course, expected. Now, unfortunately, we, 2 activations remaining. What? That's definitely not what it said before. Fascinating. This definitely says 2 activations remaining. Which theoretically means that we can position, like, over here. And yeah, we're going to take mine damage. But we can go for this guy or this guy. And I think we go for the light standard turret here because the hit odds are just so much better. And yes, we did indeed lose a lot of leg armor there. That's to be expected, though, in this situation. Now we're going to move up with our Centurion. And we will position here.
Understood. Moving fast.
And let's see what we want to go for. The answer is the light standard turret, I think. Although our hit odds are quite bad. Get a bad sensor roll? Yeah, we got a bad sensor roll. Of course, the ECM doesn't help. The ECM does not help at all. That said, we did hit it with the AC-20. Unfortunately, we did not destroy it. That was deeply unfortunate, in fact.
My mech's coming apart.
Okay. Couple of hits to the mongoose.
Losing armor.
Okay. We move our mongoose at this point. The question is, what do we want to go for? The light command bunker? I mean, I feel like we need to back off on the mongoose. Maybe position it, like, over here? This does move through the minefield, so we need to position it, like, over here? Or actually, how do I forgot how we do that. Alt? No, I thought it was shift. Yes, it was indeed shift. Okay, so if we're sprinting, can we not do that while sprinting? That might be the case. Yeah, we can't do it while sprinting. We can't direct him around the minefield. We could make our way up over this way and go for the rear arc attack on the Scorpion. This would be protecting our right side, which is our weak side. So I guess that's what we'll do. I'm not super happy about it, but we'll vigilance as well. And we'll just go for the rear arc attack on the Scorpion, I guess.
Target locked.
Got a little bit of damage in there.
I hear ya.
Next up, our stealth is going to make its way over here. Followed by perhaps over here. Just to avoid the minefield. Although we can't quite get eyes on that Ripper, I feel like that's okay.
You betcha.
We'll position here, and this light standard turret is extremely close to dying. So I think let's finish that off. There we go. 2 turrets down, 2 turrets to go, as well as 3 garrison units to go. The Javelin is going to position there and go for our Javelin indirect. That's unfortunate.
I'm getting my ass kicked.
A little bit. Okay, our Harasser is going to position perhaps somewhere up over here. Go for the light command bunker. Or we could come up over this way and go for this same rear arc on this Scorpion. And that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we go through the minefield, but that's okay. Light up that Scorpion's rear arc. Another 30 rear arc damage there. Okay. So the Ripper moves back, goes for the Javelin. Yeah, that's going to hurt. A double heatsink destruction?
Damage
Oof.
critical.
Okay, so the Javelin is the pilot that is bleeding out, and we're just going to eject this now. The Javelin has taken more damage than I want to deal with for another round, and we need to eject the pilot anyway, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Fantastic. The Centurion now closes in, and it will close in to here.
Going full throttle.
And the question is, which of these do we want to go for? The answer appears to be the command bunker, but these hit odds aren't great.
Copy that.
And we missed everything. Okay.
Damn it, I missed.
So next up, the Scorpion moves, goes for the Mongoose. Doesn't get that many hits. Okay. And they're going for the stealth there. That's completely fine.
Minor damage, Commander.
And the chaff clouds on the Centurion. Okay. This is fairly expected. So next up is our Mongoose. Our Mongoose is going to move once again into the rear arc of this Scorpion, although apparently we can't melee, which is unfortunate. But we're going to move into the rear arc of the Scorpion, and the unfortunate thing here is that's only 2 evasive pips. We could get a third up over here and still be protecting our left side. Or no, our right side is exposed this way. I'm dumb. I was thinking about it the wrong way. Oh well. The Mongoose might die here. We'll see what the AI decides to do. Structure exposure on the Scorpion, but it's not dead. Okay, the Javelin's going for the Centurion. I don't hate that.
Reporting light damage.
I don't hate that at all. Phase 17, who do they move? The Ripper. Let's see what they do. Going for the stealth, it looks like.
We're getting outflanked.
I like this. This is good. Okay, so our stealth at this point can step back to here.
Affirmative.
And we're going to fire on that Ripper. Now, our hit odds aren't the best, and that's because of the ECM in the light command bunker. But let's just see about protecting our flank here. And that's actually a vehicle destruction. Perfect.
Enemy vehicle down.
It's exactly what we were going for. Next, the Harasser is going to move into the rear arc of this Scorpion again. And we're going to see if we can take him down. Odds are kind of low, but maybe. We got a tracked propulsion crit there.
Target's taken a critical hit.
But that wasn't the kill we were hoping for.
I'm here.
The Centurion is going to advance into point-blank range of the command bunker. Like so. And we're going to fire that AC-20 on it. Now, the command bunker is currently out of ammo, I think. Okay, that's a problem. We got a little lucky there.
They don't like me at all.
And this is completely fine. Yeah, we got lucky with that javelin there.
Minimal damage, Commander.
For sure.
Commander.
Okay, or rather the Mongoose. The Mongoose is going to come in over this way. I want to go for this rear arc attack on their javelin, which does have an exposed CT. Do it.
Time to get physical.
And we hit. That's huge. We didn't hit with anything else, really, other than the small laser, but at least we didn't lose our evasive pips. Javelin going for the Centurion, that's fine. I don't mind. That is absolutely ideal.
Good to go.
We're going to move up with the stealth here. And are we going to attack this turret? Or are we going to bypass it and go for these guys out here? I think our hit odds are so bad that we pretty much have to come in here.
Coordinates received.
Now, we may well stray shot the Centurion here, but I'm going to take that risk.
All weapons on go.
Okay. Very little armor left in that command bunker.
I'm
Fantastic.
here.
So at this point, the Harasser is going to move into the rear arc of the Scorpion again,
Position confirmed.
and we are going to light this up. Once again, we're hoping for a hit in there. And we got it. Perfect. All that's left now is the Javelin.
Vehicle killed.
So, let's see what we've got here. The Centurion is the one that's moving, so we're going to fire on the light command bunker with that sweet, sweet AC-20. We missed, sadly. We had a 50% hit chance
Got past the
in
armor.
point blank. Wonderful. Okay, phase 19. That is our Mongoose. Our Mongoose is once again going to move behind their Javelin. We're going to roll the kick and see what we get.
On my way.
And we hit it again. That's a very big deal, in fact. Did we reserve it back at all?
I hit something good.
No, is the answer. The Javelin moves now. That's unfortunate. It goes for the Centurion. That's fine. But it does get its...
Armor holding.
It does lose its unsteady, which is unfortunate for us. So I think I'm going to do this.
On my way.
With the stealth, our hit odds are actually pretty good here. And let's try to get the kill on this light command bunker. We got to deal with this ECM.
Commencing Alpha strike.
There we go.
One less turret.
So with that ECM gone, we will suddenly find that we have a far, far easier time here. We're going to move up to here.
I copy.
And this is probably a kill on this Javelin, in all honesty.
Confirmed. Firing.
And so it is. Fantastic. Honestly, our mech loss that we suffered was mostly... I mean, there was a lot of damage to the mech, don't get me wrong, but it was mostly the fact that we had that bleed out. Do we have Swarm LRM? No. I'm not going to use that here.
I'm taking this down.
Okay. That light LRM turret, does it have ammo? I'm not sure it does. No, it does. It just isn't firing it. Fascinating. We're going to move in like this, and the stealth is I don't think we can necessarily get the kill here. Maybe. Maybe we can get the kill here.
Everything I got.
And we did. Fantastic.
Turret destroyed.
So at this point, we now just need to go for the base destruction. And I mean, these loadouts are not ideal for us under any circumstances. We definitely want to get some loadout changes, put on more armor, things like that. Our mechs are pretty overkill on a lot of the heatsink type things, and yeah, it's
Attacking from position.
certainly not ideal. So we're going to move up with our harasser and, of course, go for the kill on this building here. Fantastic. Unfortunately, losing that double heatsink does hurt. Not because we need it for that mech, but rather because we can't replace it currently. We may be able to eventually, but I'm going to actually go for this building with the stealth. Okay, there we go. And now the harasser can finish off either of these. We'll go for the higher health one.
Firing. One less structure.
Excellent. And the Centurion can finish off this structure. There we go. We'll see what we get from salvage. I'm not expecting too much out of this. Mostly weapon systems is what we're going to be looking to build up, or just components in general.
Successful.
Since, you know, we have none of those, basically. We have a mask. That's a thing that we have. But nothing else. So let's see what we get from salvage here. 104,000 C-bills there. I mean, repairing is probably going to mean that we're net negative in our costs. But we do get a fair amount of salvage here. The MRM-20 is a solid pickup right now. We probably want to grab the medium laser because we lost one. Maybe the engine core. Ferrofibrous armor is a solid upgrade. Ooh, we did get a replacement double heatsink. Oh, and that stealth armor. That stealth armor, indeed. I think we take that instead of the engine core. So let's go down to here, grab the stealth armor. There we go. Okay, so we're going to need to do some work on our mechs. But this episode has already gone pretty long, so we'll just tell Yang to do his thing, and then we will repair any mechs that need it after that in the next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And let's just go ahead and load this on in. Any moment now. RogueTech loading is not the fastest. There's no doubt about that. There we go. Wonderful. 95k, yep, that means that we are indeed net negative on C-bills, but we got solid salvage. Let's get these repairs done, and we will head back out next time. See you all then.